before you put one more layer of concealer over those brown spots, before you buy one more fading cream, before you scrub your face harder because you think your skin is dirty, I need you to understand something most people are never told. An age spot is not just a stain sitting on top of your skin. It is a signal. It is a sign that the pigment producing system underneath that spot may be more active than the surrounding skin. And if you only cover the spot or only attack the surface, you may be missing the deeper reason that spot keeps coming back. That is why so many women after 50 say the same thing to me. The spot fades a little, then it returns. The patch looks lighter for a few weeks, then it darkens again. The makeup covers it in the morning, but by afternoon, the face in the mirror still does not feel like their own. Today, I want to show you a calmer, smarter way to think about age spots. Not miracle talk, not internet folklore, not rubbing harsh ingredients on your face until it burns. We are going to talk about the pigment factory inside the skin, why it changes after 50, and 5 kitchen ingredients people often use for dark spots, ranked from the gentlest to the most misunderstood. And please stay with me until the end, because the number one combination is the one people are most curious about, but also the one they most often use incorrectly. Done gently, it may support brighter looking, calmer looking skin. Done aggressively, it can make older skin look red, irritated, and angrier than before. Before we begin, comment below with your age and tell me where your age spots bother you most. Is it your cheeks, your hands, your forehead, your neck, or the backs of your arms? I want to know what you are actually dealing with, because skin after 50 is not one size fits all. Let us begin with the most important idea in this entire video. The spot you see on your skin is the output. It is the visible result. But underneath that output is a biological process. Your skin contains cells called melanocytes. Their job is to make melanin, the pigment that gives your skin its color and helps defend it from ultraviolet light. Melanin is not the enemy. Melanin is protective. It is one of the reasons your skin can respond to the sun, inflammation, injury, and stress. But when a small area of skin becomes repeatedly exposed to ultraviolet light, irritated, inflamed, or hormonally influenced, those melanocytes can become overactive. They begin producing more pigment in that localized area, and the result is what many people call an age spot, liver spot, sunspot, or solar lentigo. There is also an enzyme involved called tyrosinase. You do not need to memorize the word, but you do need to understand the job. Tyrosinase is like one of the key switches in the pigment-making process. When that switch is active, your skin has more ability to convert raw materials into melanin. Many brightening products, from vitamin C serums to certain prescription creams, are designed in different ways to influence this pigment pathway. But here is the mistake. Most people only think about the brown color they can see. They do not think about the signals that keep asking the skin to produce more brown pigment. It is like wiping water off the floor while the faucet is still running. You may make the floor look better for a moment, but unless you understand why the faucet is open, the water keeps returning. Age spots work in a similar way. You can cover them, you can exfoliate the surface, you can lighten them with dermatology treatments, and those treatments may be appropriate for many people. But if you do not also protect the skin, calm inflammation, support the barrier, and avoid irritating remedies, the pigment signal can quietly continue. That is why today is not just about what to apply. It is about how to think. To improve the appearance of age spots in a realistic way, you need to think in 3 directions at once. First, reduce the signals that activate excess pigment. Second, support the gentle shedding of old surface cells that already contain pigment. Third, protect the skin from the triggers that make the spot look darker again. Once you understand this, every ingredient on today's list will make more sense. You will know why some may be useful, why some are overhyped, and why a few can backfire badly on sensitive skin. Now, why does this become so frustrating after 50? There are 4 big reasons. The first is what I call ultraviolet memory. Your skin remembers sunlight. Not emotionally, of course, but biologically. The sun exposure you had at 25, 35, 45, and 55 all adds up. That is why age spots often appear on the exact places that receive the most light over the years: the face, the hands, the shoulders, the forearms, the chest, and the neck. You may look down at your hands one day and think, Where did these spots come from? But to your skin, they did not come from nowhere. They came from years of tiny signals, many of them too small to notice at the time. The second reason is slower renewal. When you were younger, your skin turned over more efficiently. Old cells rose to the surface and shed. New cells replaced them. But as we age, that process can slow. When surface cells containing pigment remain longer, the skin can look duller, more uneven, and more deeply stained than it truly is. This is why harsh scrubbing feels tempting, but it is usually the wrong instinct. Older skin does not need punishment. It needs rhythm. It needs gentle renewal, moisture, and protection. The third reason is inflammation. After 50, the skin barrier is often drier, thinner, and less forgiving. A product that felt fine at 40 may sting at 65. A peel that gave you glow years ago may now leave you red for days. Even repeated friction from masks, towels, makeup removal, or aggressive cleansing can keep the skin in a low-grade, irritated state. And irritated skin is more likely in some people to leave behind extra pigment. Dermatologists call this post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. The idea is simple. When the skin feels attacked, it may respond by making more pigment as part of its defense system. The fourth reason is hormonal change. In women especially, the years around and after menopause can change how the skin behaves. Estrogen is involved in skin thickness, hydration, collagen support, and the way the skin responds to environmental stress. When hormones shift, pigmentation patterns can shift too. Some women notice dark patches, uneven tone, or age spots that seem to intensify during this stage of life. And I want you to hear this clearly. You did not fail your skin. You did not wake up with these spots because you were careless or vain or because you somehow did not try hard enough. Your skin changed the rules after 50, and now your strategy has to change with it. Before I talk about any kitchen ingredient, I need to give you the safety filter. This is the part that separates real skin wisdom from dangerous internet advice. Do not apply acidic ingredients to skin that is cracked, peeling, bleeding, sunburn, freshly shaved, newly waxed, or already irritated. Do not apply kitchen remedies near your eyes. Do not apply them to moles, raised lesions, scabs, or any spot that is changing quickly. And please do not treat a new or unusual dark mark as an age spot until you are confident it has been evaluated or at least watched carefully. A harmless age spot is usually flat and stable. But if a spot is growing, changing color, developing an irregular border, becoming painful, itching, bleeding, crusting, or looking different from all your other spots, that is not a kitchen remedy situation. That is a dermatologist situation. Skin cancer can sometimes imitate ordinary brown spots, and no brightening trick is worth missing something important. Here is another rule. Always patch test. Put a tiny amount of the ingredient on a small area, such as the inner arm or behind the ear, and wait 24 hours. If it becomes red, itchy, swollen, painful, or hot, that is your answer. Your skin is telling you no. And if anything burns, do not push through. A mild, brief tingle from a formulated product can happen, but burning, sharp stinging, throbbing, or redness that lingers is not proof that the treatment is working. It is a warning from your barrier. Now that we have the safety filter in place, let us count down 5 kitchen ingredients, starting with the gentlest. Number 5 is buttermilk. Buttermilk is not glamorous. It does not sound dramatic. It does not create a shocking thumbnail. But for older, dry, easily irritated skin, gentle is often exactly where we should begin. Plain cultured buttermilk naturally contains lactic acid. Lactic acid is part of a group called alpha-hydroxy acids. In dermatology and skincare, alpha-hydroxy acids are used because they can support exfoliation, meaning they help loosen the bonds between old surface cells so the skin can shed more smoothly. There's also laboratory research showing that lactic acid and glycolic acid can influence melanin formation by directly inhibiting tyrosinase activity. Now, that does not mean buttermilk is a prescription treatment. It does not mean it will erase age spots, but it helps explain why a gentle lactic acid source may make skin look smoother, softer, and more even when used carefully. Think of buttermilk as a surface renewal helper. It is not shutting down your pigment system. It is not deleting a spot. It is simply helping the top layer of skin behave a little more gracefully. Here is how I would approach it if your skin is not allergic or sensitive to dairy. Use plain, unsweetened buttermilk. Not flavored, not sweetened, not mixed with lemon juice. Apply a small amount with a cotton pad or cotton swab only to the area of uneven tone. Leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes the first time. Rinse with cool water. Then apply a bland moisturizer. Do this 2 or 3 nights per week, not every night. And do not combine it on the same night with retinol, prescription fading creams, exfoliating acids, scrubs, peels, or strong vitamin C products. More is not better after 50. Better is better. I once spoke with a woman in her late 60s who had bought one brightening serum after another. Her bathroom cabinet looked like a department store counter. Vitamin C, acids, peels, retinol, spot correctors, yet her skin did not look brighter. It looked tired, dry, and defensive. When she stopped attacking her skin and started supporting it, something changed. She used sunscreen every morning. She moisturized at night. She used mild exfoliation only a few times per week. Her age spots did not vanish, but the harsh contrast softened. The skin around them looked calmer, and when the surrounding skin becomes calmer, the spots often look less severe. That is the lesson of buttermilk. It is not dramatic. It is not magic. It is a reminder that older skin usually responds best to respect. Number 4 is raw potato. Raw potato is one of those remedies that has traveled through families for generations. Someone's grandmother used it under the eyes. Someone's aunt used it on the hands. Someone online says it fades spots overnight. Let us slow down and look at it honestly. Raw potato contains water, starch, small amounts of vitamin C, and natural plant enzymes that begin to change quickly once the potato is cut and exposed to air. The soothing effect many people notice may come from the coolness, water content, and starch. The brightening claims are more complicated and often exaggerated. Vitamin C is involved in skin health and has been studied in topical skincare because it can influence oxidative stress and the pigment pathway. But the vitamin C in a potato slice is not the same as a stabilized dermatology-grade vitamin C serum. And raw potato is not a biological bleach. So why include it? Because for some people, used gently, it may provide a low irritation way to soothe and refresh the look of dull skin. It may help the skin feel calmer, and on the hands, where the skin is usually less reactive than the face, it can be an easy, low-cost experiment if used safely. The method is simple. Cut a fresh, thin slice of raw potato and use it immediately. Do not cut it and leave it sitting on the counter. Apply it gently to the area for about 5 minutes. Do not rub hard. Do not use it on open skin. Do not use it around the eyes. Rinse and moisturize. If your skin feels comfortable, you could do this a few times per week. If your skin becomes itchy, dry, or red, stop. The most important thing about raw potato is not the potato itself. It is the principle behind it. Number 50, you are not trying to wage war against your face. You are trying to lower irritation. You are trying to support calm renewal. You are trying to make the skin feel safe enough that it does not keep defending itself with more pigment. The potato is not magic, but it teaches a beautiful lesson. Fresh, gentle, low irritation care often beats aggressive treatment when the skin barrier is already tired. Number 3 is red onion, and this is where I need to be very clear. Red onion contains quercetin, a plant flavonoid found in onions, apples, capers, berries, and other foods. Quercetin is studied for antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects, and in some laboratory contexts, quercetin and related compounds have been investigated for effects on melanogenesis. But here is the belief reversal. Just because an ingredient contains an interesting compound does not mean you should squeeze it and rub the raw juice onto your face. Raw onion juice can sting, it can irritate, it can make your eyes water. It can cause redness, burning, and sensitivity, especially if your skin is thin, dry, rosacea-prone, eczema-prone, or already inflamed. And if irritation triggers more pigment in your skin type, then the remedy you thought would brighten the spot may make the area look worse over time. There is also a scientific caution here. Quercetin is not as simple as some internet videos make it sound. Some studies suggest it can inhibit pigment-related pathways in certain models, while other research has reported that quercetin may enhance melanogenesis under specific conditions. That means we should not pretend this is a clean, guaranteed, brightening ingredient. So my advice is this. I would rather you eat red onion than rub raw onion juice on your face. Add it to salads. Put it into a Mediterranean bowl with tomatoes, cucumbers, olive oil, beans, and herbs. Use it in cooked vegetables. Pair it with foods rich in vitamin C and polyphenols. When you eat these foods, you are supporting your body with antioxidants in a way that is far less likely to burn your skin barrier. If you want topical quercetin or plant polyphenols, look for properly formulated skincare products made for the face, ideally fragrance-free and tested for stability. The face is not a cutting board. Your skin deserves better than a raw kitchen experiment. This is where many natural remedies go wrong. People hear that a food contains a compound that did something interesting in a lab, and they assume the raw food should go straight onto the skin. That leap can be dangerous. If this is helping you separate real skin signs from risky internet tricks, tap the like button so more people over 50 see this before they irritate their skin chasing a brighter complexion. Number 2 is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is probably one of the most misunderstood kitchen ingredients in skincare. Some people treat it like a miracle, others treat it like poison. The truth is more nuanced. Apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid and has a low pH. The skin's outer surface is naturally slightly acidic, and this acidic environment, sometimes called the acid mantle, helps support barrier function and microbial balance. In theory, very dilute acids can support surface exfoliation and may temporarily make skin look smoother or brighter. But undiluted apple cider vinegar is not gentle skin care. It is acidic, it can irritate, it can burn. There are published medical case reports of chemical burns from vinegar used on the skin, and after 50, when the skin barrier is often drier and more fragile, this matters even more. So let me say it plainly. Apple cider vinegar is not the enemy. Undiluted apple cider vinegar is the mistake. If you ever experiment with apple cider vinegar on age spots, do not use it straight from the bottle. Start with a very diluted mixture. 1 part apple cider vinegar to 8 to 10 parts water is a much safer starting point. For example, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar mixed into 8 to 10 teaspoons of water. Apply only to a small test area. Leave it on for 1 to 3 minutes the first time. Rinse thoroughly. Moisturize immediately. Do not use it every day. Once or twice per week is more than enough for a cautious trial. Do not use it on the same night as retinoids, exfoliating acids, benzoyl peroxide, prescription fading creams, or after shaving. Do not apply it under an occlusive bandage. Do not sleep with it on your skin, and do not put it near your eyes. If you feel a tiny, brief tingle that disappears quickly, that may simply be your skin noticing the acidity. But if you feel burning, sharp stinging, throbbing, heat, or lingering redness, rinse it off and stop. That is not proof that it is working. That is your skin asking for help. I remember a woman in her 70s who thought the brown spots on her hands were the entire problem. She kept applying stronger and stronger brightening products. But when I looked at her hands, the bigger issue was not just pigmentation, it was irritation. The skin was dry, red around the knuckles, tight after washing, and more inflamed than she realized. When she stopped using harsh treatments and began wearing sunscreen on her hands every morning, moisturizing after washing, and using only mild exfoliation occasionally, the spots did not disappear overnight, but the hands looked softer. The contrast looked less harsh. The redness calmed down. And suddenly, the age spots looked less dominant because the whole skin environment improved. This is the secret many people miss. Sometimes the fastest way to make age spots look less dramatic is not to attack the spot. It is to calm the skin around the spot. And now we come to number 1, the combination many people are most curious about. Turmeric with a gentle carrier, and for some people, a tiny amount of heavily diluted apple cider vinegar. This is the point where I want you to listen carefully, because turmeric has real scientific interest, but it is also very easy to misuse. Turmeric contains curcumin, a yellow polyphenol that has been studied for antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity. In laboratory research, curcumin has been studied for its ability to influence melanogenesis, tyrosinase activity, and pigment-related signaling. That is scientifically interesting. But kitchen turmeric powder is not the same as a standardized pharmaceutical extract. and rubbing a thick paste of turmeric and straight vinegar all over your face is not the same as a controlled study. Curcumin also has poor skin penetration on its own, and turmeric can temporarily stain the skin yellow, stain towels, stain pillowcases, and irritate sensitive skin if used too aggressively. So we are going to use the principle, but we are going to respect the skin barrier. The goal is not to bleach your skin. The goal is to support a calmer pigment environment. Curcumin may help support inflammatory balance. A gentle carrier like plain yogurt or pure aloe vera gel may make the mixture less harsh. A tiny amount of heavily diluted apple cider vinegar may add mild acidity, but it must not become a burn treatment disguised as beauty care. Here is the safer version. First, patch test. Do not skip this. Put a tiny amount of the mixture behind your ear or on the inner arm and wait 24 hours. If there is redness, swelling, itching, or burning, do not use it on your face. For the mixture, use 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder and 1 teaspoon of plain unsweetened yogurt or pure aloe vera gel. If your skin is sensitive, skip the vinegar completely at first. If you choose to include it, use only 2 or 3 drops of apple cider vinegar that has already been diluted with water, not straight vinegar from the bottle. Mix it in a small glass or ceramic bowl. Apply it only to the visible age spots with a cotton swab or your ring finger. Do not apply it as a full face mask the first time. Leave it on for 5 minutes. Rinse gently with cool water. Do not scrub. Then apply a simple moisturizer. Use it at night, no more than twice per week at first, and the next morning, sunscreen is not optional. Use a broad spectrum sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher on exposed skin. If you are outdoors, reapply every 2 hours, and after sweating or swimming, without sun protection, nighttime brightening routines are like filling a bucket with a hole in the bottom. This is especially true for the hands. People protect the face and forget the hands, but the hands get sunlight while driving, walking, gardening, and sitting near windows. If your age spots are on your hands, keep sunscreen near the sink or near your car keys. Apply it to the backs of your hands every morning. Reapply if you wash frequently and go back outside. Now let us talk about expectations, because unrealistic expectations are where disappointment begins. In the first week or two, you should not expect age spots to vanish. What you may notice, if your skin tolerates the routine, is that the skin feels calmer or less dull. By 4 to 8 weeks, some people may notice more even-looking tone, especially if they are consistent with sunscreen. By 8 to 12 weeks, the contrast of some spots may appear softer. But if someone promises that a kitchen ingredient will erase decades of sun damage in 7 days, please be skeptical. The skin does not remodel on command. Pigment changes slowly. Barrier repair takes patience, and any routine that truly respects older skin must leave the skin healthier, not just temporarily lighter. There are also people who should be extra cautious. If you use prescription retinoids, hydroquinone, strong acids, benzoyl peroxide, steroid creams, or medications that make your skin more sun sensitive, do not add kitchen acids without asking your clinician. If you recently had a laser treatment, chemical peel, microneedling, waxing, or a dermatology procedure, wait until your skin has fully healed and follow your dermatologist's instructions. If you have rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, very reactive skin, or a history of allergic reactions, keep the routine simpler. Sometimes the best brightening plan is not a kitchen mixture at all. Sometimes it is a dermatologist confirming that the spot is benign, then recommending a well-studied option such as a retinoid, azelaic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C, a carefully supervised hydroquinone plan, laser, intense pulse light, cryotherapy, or a chemical peel. These are not enemies of natural care. They are tools. The wisdom is knowing which tool is right for which skin. So let us bring the whole strategy together. If your skin is dry, irritated, and easily upset, begin with protection and repair. Sunscreen in the morning, moisturizer at night, gentle cleansing, no scrubbing, no burning, no kitchen acids. If your skin is calm and you want a very gentle start, buttermilk 2 or 3 nights per week may support mild surface renewal. If you want something simple for the hands, a fresh potato slice for a few minutes may be a low-drama experiment, though the effect is likely to be subtle. If you are thinking about red onion juice, I would redirect you toward eating red onions and other colorful plant foods rather than applying raw onion to your face. If you are curious about apple cider vinegar, dilute it heavily and treat it with respect. And if you want to try turmeric, use a tiny, gentle, patch-tested mixture, not a harsh paste that burns your skin. But above all, protect the skin from ultraviolet light. I know sunscreen does not sound exciting. It does not have the drama of turmeric, the novelty of potato, or the viral appeal of apple cider vinegar. But if age spots are related to years of ultraviolet exposure, then preventing new ultraviolet signals is the foundation. Every brightening routine without sunscreen is incomplete. Let me give you a simple 7-day way to start without overwhelming yourself. For the first day, do nothing dramatic. Take clear photos of your spots in natural light. Do not use filters. Do not judge yourself. Just document. On the second day, choose your sunscreen and moisturizer. Apply sunscreen in the morning to your face, neck, chest, and hands. Apply moisturizer at night. On the third day, patch test the ingredient you are most curious about, behind your ear or on the inner arm. Wait 24 hours. On the fourth day, if the patch test is calm, apply the ingredient to one small spot only. Not your entire face, one area. 5 minutes. Rinse, moisturize. On the fifth day, rest. Let the skin tell you how it feels. On the sixth day, repeat only if the skin is calm. If there's redness, dryness, burning, or itching, stop and return to barrier repair. On the seventh day, look at your skin not for a miracle, but for a signal. Does it feel calmer? Is it less tight, less irritated, more comfortable? That is your first victory. Brightness comes after calm. If you want me to create a simple patch test plan for sensitive skin over 60, comment the word spots below. I will know exactly what you mean. And before we close, I want to speak to the emotional part of this, because age spots are not just cosmetic for many people. They can change how you feel when you shake someone's hand. They can change whether you wear short sleeves. They can change whether you sit near a window, take a photo with your grandchildren, or leave the house without makeup. I have heard women say, "My hands look older than I feel." I have heard them say, "I stopped wearing my hair back because I do not want people to see the spots on my cheeks." I have heard them say, "I know it sounds vain, but I just want to recognize myself again." That is not vanity. That is dignity. But dignity does not come from punishing your skin. It comes from understanding it. It comes from knowing that age spots are not a moral failure. They are not proof that you neglected yourself. They are usually the result of time, sun exposure, inflammation, slower renewal, and biological changes that happen in real human skin. Your skin has protected you for decades. It has healed cuts, guarded you from sunlight, warned you when something was too hot, too cold, too sharp, or too harsh. Those spots are not evidence that your skin betrayed you. They are evidence that your skin has been working under pressure for a long time. So, yes, you can care about them. You can want them to look softer. You can want a more even complexion. You can try gentle remedies, use evidence-based skincare, or see a dermatologist, but do not let a brown spot convince you that your face is less worthy of being seen. If this video helped you understand your skin differently, subscribe to Golden Wellness Daily and share it with one person over 50 who has been hiding her hands, covering her cheeks, or blaming herself for spots she never fully understood. And before you go, comment your age and tell me this. Have your age spots ever faded and then come back darker? Or have they slowly become more noticeable over time? Take care of your skin gently. It has carried you this far. And with the right information, patience, protection, and respect, it can still become calmer, brighter looking, and healthier looking than you may believe right now.